My name is Mara, and for 32 years I was the queen of playing small. I had a job I hated that paid just enough to keep me scared of leaving. I had friends who treated me like their emotional punching bag. I had a body I punished with cheap wine and self-loathing because I'll start tomorrow. And I had a dream, writing a book, that I kept locked in a drawer like a dirty secret, because who the hell was I to think I could be an author? Then one Tuesday in October, everything cracked open. I was sitting in the parking lot of the grocery store, crying into a family-sized bag of cheddar popcorn because my boss had just screamed at me for something that wasn't my fault, and I'd said nothing. Again. I just nodded, apologized, and fixed it. Like always. I looked at my reflection in the rearview mirror, puffy eyes, orange dust on my lips, 30 pounds heavier than I wanted to be, wearing the same grey hoodie I'd owned since college. And something inside me snapped, not in a cute, cinematic way, but in a primal, done being pathetic way. I wiped my face with the sleeve of that tragic hoodie and said out loud, to no one and to the entire universe at the same time, fuck this. I am a badass, and I'm done auditioning for the role of martyred side character in my own damn life. That was day one. I didn't have a plan. I didn't have savings. I didn't have a supportive boyfriend or a trust fund or a clue. All I had was a decision so loud it rattled my bones. I was going to stop waiting for permission, for perfection, for someday. I quit my job. Not in a cool, take this job and shove it way. I literally walked into my boss's office the next morning, still smelling faintly of cheddar despair, and said, I'm giving my 2 weeks notice. He laughed, actually laughed, and said, you'll be back in a month when you run out of money. I smiled, the first real smile I'd felt in years, and said, watch me. I told the universe what I wanted, out loud, every single day, like a lunatic. I stood in my tiny apartment and declared, I am a best-selling author. I am healthy, strong, and full of energy. Money flows to me easily. Amazing people want to be in my orbit. My cat judged me heavily, but I kept going. I wrote these declarations on sticky notes and slapped them on every surface. I was awkward as hell at first, but awkward is just growth wearing a bad outfit. I started moving my body. Not because I loved exercise, please, but because I was tired of treating my body like a trash compactor. I started with 10-minute walks while listening to hype music that made me feel like I was in a movie montage. 10 minutes became 20. 20 became running. Running became, oh my god, I just signed up for a half marathon because apparently I'm insane now. I lost the 30 pounds, but more importantly, I gained the feeling of being alive inside my own skin. I wrote the damn book. Every morning at 5 a.m., before doubt could wake up and talk shit, I sat at my kitchen table with terrible coffee and wrote. Some days it sucked. Most days it sucked. But I kept going because quitting was no longer an option. I decided the book didn't have to be perfect. It just had to exist. 6 months later, I had a rough draft and $0 in my bank account. I was eating cereal with water instead of milk and pretending it was a minimalist lifestyle choice. That's when most people would have panicked and crawled back to their old life. I did panic, but I didn't crawl. Instead, I sent the manuscript to 100 agents. 98 ignored me. 2 asked for the full thing. 1 signed me. Her name is Claire, and on the day she called to offer representation, I screamed so loud my neighbor banged on the wall. I didn't care. I was too busy becoming the person I'd been pretending I wasn't allowed to be. The book came out 18 months later. It wasn't an overnight bestseller. It was a slow, stubborn climb. But it climbed. Bookstores called for signings. Readers sent me letters that made me cry in coffee shops. Strangers tagged me in photos holding my book like it was their new Bible. My face, my face, was on a poster in an actual airport. And the best part? The money started showing up. Not just enough to survive, but enough to thrive. Enough to pay rent without dread, to buy the good coffee, to fly my mom out to visit without checking my balance first. The universe, it turns out, has excellent hearing when you stop whispering and start roaring. People ask me all the time, how did you do it? Weren't you terrified? Hell yes, I was terrified. Every single day. But here's the secret nobody tells you when you're stuck in the muck of average. Fear doesn't go away. You just stop giving it the steering wheel. I still have days when the old voice pipes up, who do you think you are? Now I answer it immediately. I'm the woman who decided her life was too precious to waste being small. Next question. I'm 35 now. I've written 3 books. I run half marathons without wanting to die. I have friends who lift me up instead of dragging me down. I fall in love with my reflection some days and roll my eyes at her on others. But either way, I'm in the game. The cheddar popcorn hoodie? I burned it in a ceremonial backyard fire and danced around the flames like a witch reclaiming her power. So if you're sitting there right now, feeling like life is happening to you instead of for you, listen closely. You are not stuck. You are on the verge. You are not too old, too broke, too broken, or too late. You are a badass who forgot for a minute. Remember. Then get up and go do something today, anything, that your future self will thank you for. Send the email. Take the walk. Write the terrible first page. Say the scary truth out loud. The moment you decide you're done playing small, the entire universe leans in and says, finally, let's go. You are a badass. And your real life is waiting. Now quit reading this and go claim it.